Hey, what's up, you guys? Anthony here. Welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the one mistake inside of your ad account that you need to stop making if you like money. Now, if you do not like money, then it is totally fine for you to continue doing this inside of your ad account. But on the more than likely high chance that you do enjoy more money coming back into your pocket than the previous month when you're spending on Facebook ads, then pay attention to the next 10 minutes of this video, because I'm going to be showing you the number one mistake that is holding back brands, marketers from scaling their ad accounts correctly. And in all likelihood, you probably have a brand or an ad account that is ready to scale, but because you're making this one mistake, you're not actually able to achieve that, and you're making your life harder. In fact, you're probably at a stage where you're throwing up constantly new creatives, spamming new creatives as much as you can to try and unlock scale. And your performance is inconsistent, it's all over the place, and you really can't just scale your ad account. So make sure you pay attention and stick around until the end of this video so you can understand what this mistake is. And it's so simple, and I guarantee you 99% of beginner to intermediate media buyers are making this mistake in their ad account, because I've audited so many accounts, I've ran so many accounts over the last 6 years, I've generated over $100 million in advertising revenue, and I see this time and time again, and I answer this question time and time again. And so without wasting any time, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. Now, the number one mistake that you are making, and I want to show it to you, I'm going to demonstrate it to you in this account first so you can see before I actually reveal it to you. So this is an account that we had, and I'm pulling up the November metrics, and my cat is literally walking through the video. Say what's up, Momo. Anyways, this is an account that we had in that we were scaling up in November, and I want to show you in July. Okay, these guys were spending $6,000. Yes, $6,000. Then they were spending $97,000, right? So it was a gradual kind of scaling up in the ad account, $125,000, and then ultimately in November we tripled that ad spend and increased it to $359,000 in ad spend. And you're going to see majority of that is happening. Majority of that is happening inside of one campaign. Of the $359,000 that we had spent, $323,000 of that, so what is that, roughly 85 to 90% of our account spend came from one campaign. And another thing to keep in mind, where's my conversion value? There it is. So 1.7 return on ad spend in platform. Who gives a shit about ROAS? Not me. And total purchase conversion volume generated was over $500,000. And this is severely understating the impact of Meta. But for those of you who care that, still measure performance in your ad account by ROAS and conversion value, there's your return on ad spend figures. And overall on the account was 1.78. So we did this all through one campaign, right? If I click into this one campaign, you're going to see that we did this all majority or almost, 60%, 200K out of 300 on one ad set. And if I click into that ad set, you're also going to see majority of that came off of only a few ads, right? There's 3 ads here that are really driving the most significant revenue. You've got this one at 90,000 or amount spent, right? This one at 47,000. And if I just filter down by these 3, what you will see is that over half of my campaign spend went into the top 3 creatives, okay? Or only three creatives, okay? Why is this important? Well, the reason that this is important is that there's a common miscorrelation or a correlation that is not true out there on LinkedIn and D2C Twitter, that the more creatives that you test, the better your account performance will be. Or rather, if you want to scale, you need to be testing more creatives. And that is a fundamental flaw. That is a fundamental lie. I don't want to say it's a lie. It's a misrepresentation of what actually drives scale in your ad account, and it severely misrepresents what the purpose of creative testing is. So when it comes to the number one mistake that you're making inside of your ad account, it's doing too much creative testing. You are testing way too many creatives because you have been told by D2C Twitter and LinkedIn, by all these marketers, and probably myself at some point, that the key to scaling is testing more creatives. That is not the key to scaling. The key to scaling, okay, very simple. The key to scaling is this is the only column you need if you want to scale. It's budget. If you want to scale, all scale is amplifying volume. So if I want to scale my ad account, I increase the budget. I don't test new creatives. So I see this time and time and again, where you probably have creatives in your ad account. And people say, oh, I have one creative that gets all the spend. And then I ask them, well, is it working? And they're like, yeah, but it's getting all the spend. And I'm like, what? So you have something that's in your ad account generating results, hitting your target, and you're mad because it's getting all the spend? What? How is this real life? How does that make sense? Why is that a problem? Listen, if you have creatives in your account that are currently hitting your targets, the number one thing that you should be focused on is scaling. You need to increase that budget. My personal threshold is 20% after every day that I'm hitting my new customer cost per acquisition target. As long as my new customer acquisition CPA target is where I want it to be, that budget goes up 20% every single day. That is how you can double your ad spend, like how we did in on this account, right? Where you can go from, and how you can do it in a really controlled way, right? That is how you can double your ad spend. Go back, from 125, or triple it rather, all the way up to 359,000. Is because if you have a set of creatives, so long as your campaign is hitting target and you want to scale, all you need to do is increase the budget. Now, why is creative testing to unlock scale a bad thing? Well, here's the thing. It is my firm belief that Facebook is a much better decision maker, or is the more appropriate decision maker for which ads should get spent in my ad account. Because it is seeing things, it is seeing signals across Facebook's user base that I do not have access to. And the AI is processing things at trillions of per second, or whatever you get my point. It's much smarter than I will ever be. That being said, it's not perfect. It's still a predictive machine. It's still predicting user behavior based off those signals, but it can't guarantee user behavior. And because of that, sometimes Facebook does not perform, and sometimes Facebook gets things wrong. And that being said, in instances where your campaign is spending on creatives, where you have that initial batch of creatives, and it's not hitting target, that is when you do creative testing. The whole point of creative testing is to insert new creatives and to test new creatives to give Facebook new inputs in the event that you're not able to achieve scale. We're testing new creatives to get more efficient. But if we're already as efficient as we need to be, then we just scale. Okay? So there should never be a point where you are creative testing just for the sake of creative testing. Always prioritize increasing the budget if your main goal is scale. Now, if your main goal is to stay as efficient as possible and you just want to be as efficient as possible at a $500 daily budget, let's say that is your hard limit, you cannot spend any more, then that is totally fine. You absolutely should be creative testing because you want to make sure that that campaign, you're giving Facebook as many opportunities to spend and as many shots on goal as possible. But when you're in an aggressive mode in your business and you want to really just scale, more often than not, you have a set of creatives that are already hitting target, and all you need to do is just increase the budget. You don't need to creative test to get more efficient if you're already as efficient as you want to be. And that's exactly what we did here in this account. We're not making things complicated. We're checking the account every day. Are we at target? Okay, cool. Budget goes up. Laptop gets closed. That's it. I go about my day. Or I go work on the next batch of creatives for when, performance isn't where we want to be. But this is the number one mistake I see is people creative test themselves out. They almost lose sight of the end goal. They're like, I want to scale my ad account to spending $10,000 a day, but we just don't have the creatives. I'm like, what? How do you know that? Is your campaign currently hitting target? Have you tested spending at 10,000 a day with your current creatives? They're just like, no, I just need to be testing new creative. I'm not testing enough content. I need to test more creative. Look, testing creative is a good thing, but you don't want to creative test yourself out of your objective, which is to scale your ad account. So don't fall into that habit of just launching new creatives, because again, Facebook gets it wrong sometimes. So you're going to have scenarios where you insert new creatives, they overtake the spend of your best performers, and they make your campaign performance worse. And then you have to go through the process of letting that run for a week, and then you go back and turn it off, and now you're back at square one. You just wasted, 7 to 14 days. And in e-com, that is a long time, right? When these businesses, life cycle of these businesses like 1 to 5 years. So if I could sum up this video, if you want to scale your ad account, all it comes down to is increasing volume. And the way you increase volume is you increase the budget. That is what you should be doing. Evaluate your campaign performance. Are you hitting your business metrics and KPIs? For me, that's new customer CPA, and sometimes acquisition MER is factored in as well. Also, total contribution profit generated per day and per month. Whatever metrics that you have, ideally metrics outside of the ad account, as long as you are hitting those targets, the budget goes up. Okay? Avoid this mistake of creative testing and just testing new content for the sake of testing new content. Remember the purpose of testing new content. The purpose of testing new content, I'll say this, I'll end the video here, is to increase campaign efficiency so you can spend more. However, if your campaign is already as efficient as it needs to be, then do not run the risk of injecting unproven variables into your ad account that can harm the performance you're currently getting, and just scale volume. Increase the budget and close your laptop. That is all I have to say for this video. I hope you got a ton of value out of this. As always, if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're a Shopify brand that's doing at least $100,000 per month and you're interested in seeing what it would look like if I were to run your ads, then check out the first link in the description below to hop on a short call with me, see if it makes sense. If not, hope you got a ton of value out of this as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.